What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I noticed that I haven't done one of these mod listings in a long time, and it felt like this was a good spot just because the car is going to be going through a really big transformation. So a lot of the things that you see on the car aren't going to be on the car anymore, which is why I felt like it was the perfect time to go over everything I've done to the car at this point in time for the V2 portion of the build. So some of you may have watched my first mod list video, and that was at the end of 2020. And I would personally say that that was probably the end of version 1. And then we kind of ramped it up from there in terms of like adding the wrap, adding different things to the interior, which is all the things that I will go over in this video. So before jumping into this video, it is like extremely hot right now in the Bay Area, and I am very, very uncomfortable. But I parked the car in the sun because I want to show you guys the wrap color, because it won't do it any justice if I park it inside. So let me go over everything on the exterior wise, and then we're gonna go inside because I am like absolutely sweating balls right now. So here's the car. We're in my favorite garage, and I think it actually looks really, really good at this point. So we'll start off with the wrap. The wrap is a Teckwrap gloss Aurora white. In certain lights you will see a tint of like blue, you will see a lot of pink, you will see white in certain places. So it is a color shifting wrap, and in certain spots you will see it kind of change. And at night, honestly, you can't really tell. At night it looks a lot more pink than it does white or blue, but when the sun hits it in very particular areas like here, you will see a bluish white tint with the majority of the car looking really pink. Moving on from there, we are on Tein Street Advanced Z coilovers. A lot of you have been asking me what kind of coilovers I have on the car, and I think these are actually really good. I got these back in 2018, I believe, and it's been 4 years since I've had them on, and I've honestly had no issues. If I was to suggest a different wrap, or not a wrap, different set of coilovers, it would actually be the BC Racing Coilovers. You guys might be wondering, like, what about the Flex Z coilovers? Honestly, for the price point that you're paying for the Flex Z compared to the BC Racing, I would go with BC if I'm being honest, just because I've had Teins on the car before, but I want to change to BC. I don't want to, there's no knock on the Teins, but I feel like the performance aspect and the overall build quality on the BCs are better. And for the price point that you're paying, you might as well just save up a little extra and just go with the BCs if I have to leave a recommendation for anything. We are on Enkei RPF1 wheels, 18 by 8.5 plus 40 in the front on a 225/40 tire. And then we are on same setup, Enkei RPF1 with a 18 by 9.5 plus 38 wheel on a 255/40 tire. So same tire specs as the stock wheels, but we just are on more aggressive wheel setup. I can't do this heat any longer. I'm gonna move the car inside and then we'll go on with the build list. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna sit you guys up on the tripod and go over the exhaust setup since I'm gonna start it anyway. And for the exhaust, we're running a muffler and a resonator delete. I did this at a local shop, and I've had this on for about 4 years. Sounds really good, and I think it's probably the best sounding exhaust, where it brings the best, I guess, roar out of the engine, if you were to call it. But let me sit you guys up on the tripod and you guys can hear how it sounds. It's so hot. So as you can see, the car doesn't look as pink. Well, it kind of looks more pink than when we were in the sun, but you don't really see that hint of blue when you go to like this corner right here. So that's why I kind of like it, because you're not necessarily choosing one specific color for the car. You kind of have a shift when it goes from like in the shade compared to like direct sunlight. So moving on from the wheels, I did paint the calipers yellow. This is the DIY that I did, so I did post a video about this. I did the front and the rear, I did that yellow. So just looking at the car from the side, I did add these side skirt extensions from EzSplitters. These are actually measured myself, so they didn't have a specific template for the Lexus. So when you guys make one, you can have it made specifically for however long your car is. It doesn't have to be a Lexus, it could be any other car that you want. And then I specifically added this high, you know, wing spoiler right there. I think that adds a lot more character. They do have others on eBay where it's strictly just the extension, but I personally like the wing in the back just because it gives it more character. It flows really well with this carbon apron I have. This is actually one of my favorite mods just because when you look from the rear, it doesn't look as plain. And even though it's like a very, very small mod, when you have the addition of the diffuser, I think the apron just flows really well. And then I do have the walled style diffuser along with the walled style trunk spoiler. And then just looking from the back, I do have the HC motion taillights. Let me turn on the hazards. So these are actually sequential, so which is what I really like about it. Sometimes I'd be signaling just for no reason so that I can show off the sequentials. I'll set you guys up on the tripod, but you guys can see how the HC motion taillights look like because it does this really cool animation when it turns on itself, which is, I think, is really dope. So definitely one of my favorite mods, and I did have the Vland red taillights before, and I ended up swapping it out just because I kind of like the updated look, and I feel like it flows really well with how my car specifically looks like. The Vland's does have a specific look as well, but I kind of wanted to switch up, and I think it looks really good. I do have the LED reflectors as well. I just didn't wire it up to the taillights just yet. I did have it wired up before to the Vland's, but you know, I got kind of lazy and I haven't done it in a while. I do have 15% tint all around, so of course the front windows aren't rolled up, but 15% in the front, 15% in the rear window, and then 15% in the back rear window as well. Come to the front, and I am running Vlan Headlights along with some LED headlights. I do have the V-style front lip, which a lot of you have been asking me about. I think this is probably one of the best lips just because it kind of covers it from, you know, where it starts to where it ends at the bottom. Gives it a full clean look, and it actually makes the car look a lot lower than I actually am, which is always a plus. Plastidip the front trim for the grille, and I swapped the grille out for the F Sport front grille. Have added the front banner, the Happy Endings banner. Probably one of my favorite banners out there, one of my favorite companies. And as for the exterior, that is about it. Definitely a great look for dailies and nothing that is too insane in terms of price point that you are going to be spending a lot of money on, because I think it does the job. Everything here is very reliable, everything here looks very good, and I can take this pretty much anywhere without having any hiccups. Actually, I think there is one more mod. We do have these window visors. I think having window visors for me is just a must, and I actually wrapped the chrome trim around the windows. I think it gives it a more sleek look, and I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I am no rapper, but I did wrap the car ourselves, so you will see a lot of imperfections in the wrap, which is okay with me, just because I know going in, I wasn't gonna do 100% the best job like a wrap shop would do. So that's pretty much about it for the exterior. Let's head into the interior because I did add a few things since the last mod list video. So of course we have the carbon fiber DIY control panels. I did that myself, as well as the center console. All the window control things have all been wrapped in carbon from the front to the back. So it definitely gives it an upgraded look. I have added the carbon fiber steering wheel, which I have been getting a lot of questions on, like where I got it. I actually got it from a subscriber. Honestly, I have no idea where he got it from, but I appreciate him for actually throwing me the steering wheel. This is one of my favorite mods, and actually one of my favorite things in the car. I look at this thing every time I drive the car, and it just feels great. Carbon fiber top, flat bottom steering wheel. Even with the blue stitching, I think it just looks absolutely sick. Have the Android head unit stereo system, pretty much a direct replacement from the old one. I had the old stereo where it was no screen, pretty much just AC controls and like a CD player option. So I think this just gives it an updated look, and I think this looks absolutely freaking sick. I love this mod just because I have Apple CarPlay, so I would highly suggest it. There are a few hiccups which I will make a separate video on, but yeah, definitely one of my favorite mods. Broadway Mirror. I actually got this in Japantown in San Francisco, but the store specifically closed. But you can get these on Amazon. I don't know the size that I got this from, but I can pretty much see everything from the driver's side rear window all the way to the passenger side rear window. Upgraded LED interior lights for the front and the back, as well as the Lexus logo. When it is dark outside, the Lexus logo will show up on the floor after replacing that. Have added the puddle lights in the side mirrors on both sides, and I have the IS300 first gen shift knob. A lot of you have been asking me about this. It's nothing special. I got this from the IS300 first gen, so if you want to go to like car park or someone's partying out the IS300, definitely pick this up. And another video I didn't record, excuse the messy floor, but I installed these non-slip F-Sport pedals. I didn't do the driver's side because it involved you actually having to take off the pedal and take out a pin and some sort of stuff. So I was kind of lazy, but I did the brake and I did the rest pedal. Surikawa from JDM Surikawa. I think this is a good addition. A lot of you might be like, oh, this dude is like an F-boy. Honestly, I think it looks sick. I don't really care what anyone thinks, and you guys shouldn't either. Last but not least, we do have a dash cam that we have been running for a couple months. That's gonna be about it for the interior. Let's head to the engine and let me show you guys what else I've done to the car. So we pop the hood, and nothing really special. I do have the Megan Racing strut brace. I think that's a good mod for the front. I don't have anything else in terms of suspension wise for the front, but I do have the F-Sport sway bar in the rear. I think that one, along with the Megan Racing strut bar, is a good combo to have. I did have the F-Sport chassis brace as well, but my car is so low that I would essentially just scrape on anything with the F-Sport chassis brace. I have the RR Racing intake tube. I also have the RR Racing tune that we recently just did. I will make an update video on that, but I actually love the tune. It feels amazing, and I feel like I'm wasting more gas because I'm driving with it now. I got an F-Sport oil cap, got that from RR Racing as well, and I do have an RR Racing oil catch can that I haven't installed. I really need to install that, and after thinking about it, I don't really think there's anything else on the car, and I think I covered everything that has been installed in terms of interior, exterior, suspension mods, and all that stuff. So I think the car looks absolutely amazing. I don't think there's anything more that I could do, but I feel like I can push the boundaries maybe just a little bit more, because there's just some things that I kind of want to change on the car, and you guys have been asking me a lot of questions, and I'm always happy to answer them. Sometimes I might not be able to get to everyone's question, but I try to be the best resource that I can for you guys. So that's the point of this channel, to let you guys know if there's anything that I know, if there's anything that you guys can help me with. It's a community, you know, it's a big community, but all the love you guys have been showing the car and me has just been absolutely amazing. But the next portion of this build is gonna be, let me just, I don't want to say too much, but I'm like super excited to just get started on that and to show you guys what we have in store, not just for this car, but for other cars as well. If you guys enjoy this build so far, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys aren't already, subscribe to the channel down below. And if you guys have any suggestions that I haven't done yet for the car, leave them in the comment section down below. And until the next video, I'll see you guys in the next one.